Hello, this is Roadwarrior. Today I'll be casting a 1 versus 1 on Blistering Sands. Bottom we have spawning the red Zerg WooTang versus me, Roadwarrior. Top left, blue Terran. Now, the main purpose of this cast, I want to point out two important things you should always consider in a 1 versus 1 as any race. First one being scouting. You should always scout the enemy base as much as possible. Second would be, build order. Now, build order is very important in a 1 versus 1. Because if you get the wrong, if you try to take up too quickly and your enemy does not do the same, they can overrun you with basic units and win, which, spoiler alert, I end up doing. Now looks like WooTang has started producing overlords and drones, going for an early extractor, which means he's going to be going for those high-tech units rather quickly. Excuse me. Now, since I queued as random, he did not know what I was going. If I would have queued as Terran, he would have known that I'd be doing mass Marine Marauder. Maybe it would have affected his build a little bit differently. But since I did roll as random, he should have scouted me much earlier to see who I ended up spawning as. But since he didn't, he couldn't prepare for that. Now his overlord has gone out about halfway across the map to scout me. When the time comes, I'll point you how much he scouts me with, and it's really not very much. My first supply depot has finished. My second barracks is almost done. I am getting out my 2 extractors, so I do that so I can get out the 3 upgrades for Marines and Marauders out of the tech lab, so when I do go for my first attack, I'll be well equipped to deal with anything that comes my way. Now, I know this is a Zerg player. I was expecting a Zerg Baneling Rush as a Terran, so that's why I built this wall here as such. Now, yes, I am still in the practice league, so I'm on the novice maps with these rocks. I haven't played very much. I'm actually not that great of a StarCraft 2 player, so that's why I built this wall and I'm still on the practice league. My second barrack has gone down. I just finished my orbital command, still producing harvesters. If we look at units tab, he has more harvesters than me at this point. But I do use my mule every time I can. The spawning pool just finished, got a second extractor, and he is getting the speedling buff. Also, his lair is already underway. It's almost done. Like I said, seeing these 2 extractors here, getting the first one as early as he did, we should be seeing the high-tech units early on. Which again, if this was a 3v3 or 4v4, and if I was an ally, I'd say go for the high-tech units quickly. But in a 1 versus 1, you really have to watch your build order, because with the Terran Marine Marauder build, if you try to go for high-tech units, you're not going to have as many units out as the Terran, and will get overrun quite quickly. Now, I do destroy these rocks early because I do want to do an early push. Okay, the dude just scouted me. Let me just move this back here a little bit. A little bit more. Okay, if we go to his vision, let's speed up a little bit. I mean, he only scouts me this much. He sees the 1 reactor, or the one extractor. I don't know why. Like I said, even in the game, I didn't notice it even notice it at all. I didn't until I watched this cast, but that's what happens. Now, if we go to production tab, my concussion shells are done. I am going for my stem pack. My second tech lab is going down. I'm still pumping out more Marines. I do put this supply depot here because I want it here just in case he puts an overlord here to put a Nautilus network here. So that doesn't happen, I'd see it coming and act accordingly. I've had a couple games where they do put an where a Zerg puts an Overlord on a part of my base I don't have anyone at, and I get overrun with Zerg while my main army is too far away to help. First Marauder is out. I believe I moved these to the Zelnaga tower over here. Rather, I do. Just so I can see the Zerg movement before they attack me. I'm still pumping out, like I said, Marines, Marauders. He just started researching on his evolution chamber and got a spine crawler out. No Zerglings. Oh, 2 Zerglings. That's it. That's all he's got so far. And as a Zerg, that's not that great. I know having a lot of harvesters is important, but come on, you're Zerg. You need to have a strong offense. I believe he's going for a early. Oh, he just started his expansion right now, and he's just finished his Spire. So we will be seeing mutas. Mutalisks are great, but not for an early game. Wow, can't even think right now. Not as an early game unit. That's more of a mid to late game unit right there. As I'm starting to build my army, I think I scanned him already. No, I'm gonna scan him soon, and I think I just see this much. I noticed the Mutalisks, but I don't actually build more Marines for that for some reason. I don't really remember. Like I said, this is my first game in a couple months, my first online game in a couple months, so I was pretty rusty, still pretty rusty. I didn't really plan accordingly, and for some reason he just popped out 5 Overlords at once, wasting, what is that, 600 minerals for all, 500 minerals for all 5 of them. For that, he could have built, what, 25 Zerglings for that, or at least 5 Mutalisks, which would have been more beneficial to him. I do move most of my forces up right now, start destroying these rocks, and I'll go in for an early offensive. I know Zergs like to get an early expansion out. My main reason for going, oh, and I just scan him. I just see all these Mutalisks popping up. I do try to take this Expo out as quick as possible. Because I know as long as I get this expansion out, that's a lot of minerals wasted for him, and I'll probably be able to take on a majority of his army, which I do. Unfortunately, I didn't micro my Marines well enough, and while I was destroying the expansion, I should have used the Marines to take out the Mutalisks, but I didn't do that. And I'm not even microing my Marauders that well either. I think I lose 2 that I didn't need to lose, yeah. And the second one should be going down, but I am sending in reinforcements. I believe he's producing more Zerglings, which he should have done earlier. If he would have had all these Zerglings plus the mutas and the other Zerglings he had before, he probably would have wiped me out, but he didn't. My concussive shells aren't really helping me too much here, but the stem peg upgrades really paid off. I think he's trying to produce as many defensive units as possible, but I do end up taking them out before they can mean anything. To take out the spine crawler, I start working on his resource line, but I said screw it. Once these Zerglings pop, I said I need to take this guy down as fast as possible right now, which I do eventually. He doesn't even give me a GG when he quits, he just leaves. So with that said, like I said, the 2 main things I want people to take away from this match is A, scouting. Scouting is always important. Especially the earlier you get it done against the random, the better, so you know what race they are, what build they're probably doing, and how to act accordingly. Second thing is build order. The main reason why he lost is because he went up to high-tech units way too quickly. If he would have stuck with Zerglings, Roaches first, I would have been SOL, because my Marauders are armored, and Roaches do more damage against armored. Plus, Roaches are so much cheaper than Mutalisks. In the beginning, he lost 5 Mutalisks. That's 500 minerals at 500 gas. he would have been better off to get roaches and zerglings instead of mostly those mutalisks in the beginning. He could have made a lot more roaches for those pros of those mutalisks. Excuse me. So that's it. Oh god. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on the battlefield.